Macedonians, my speech will not be aimed at stopping your urge to return home. As far as I am concerned, you may go where you like. But I want you to realize, on departing, how you have acted towards me and what I have done for you. Let me begin, as is right, with my father Philip. When he found you, you were wandering about aimless and resourceless, clothed in sheepskins and pasturing small flocks in the mountains. He gave you cloaks to wear instead of sheepskins, brought you down from the mountains to the plains, and made you a match in war for the neighboring barbarians, owing your safety to your own bravery and no longer having to rely on your mountain strongholds. He made you city dwellers and civilized you with good laws and customs. Those barbarians who used to harass you and plunder your property, he made you their leaders instead of their slaves and subjects. He annexed much of Thrace to Macedonia, seized the most favorable coastal towns, and opened up the country to trade. He made you governors of the Thessalians, before of whom you used to die of fright. The Athenians and Thebans, who were permanently poised to attack Macedonia, he so humbled that they now in turn had to seek their safety from us. After uniting all of Greece, he marched into the Peloponnese and settled matters there too. He was appointed commander-in-chief of all Greece for the campaign against the Persians, but preferred to assign the credit to all the Macedonians rather than just to himself. With such greatness were the achievements of my father on your behalf, and yet small in comparison with my own. I inherited a country that could barely sustain you. I crossed the Hellespont for you, although the Persians then dominated the seas. I defeated in a cavalry engagement the satraps of Darius and annexed to your rule the whole of Ionia and Aeolis, both Phrygius and Lydia, and took Miletus by storm. The rest of the spoils of war came over to our side in time, and I made them yours for you to enjoy. All the wealth of Egypt and Cyrene, which I won without a fight, are now yours. Coele, Syria, Palestine and Mesopotamia are your possession. Babylonia and Bactria and Elam belong to you. You own the wealth of Lydia, the treasures of Persia, the riches of India and the outer ocean. You are satraps, you are generals, you are captains. As for me, what do I have left from all these labors? Merely this purple cloak and diadem. Who among you knows that he has endured greater toil for me than I have for him? I only eat what you eat, and I sleep as much as you sleep. Come now, whoever of you has wounds, let him strip and show them, and I will show mine in turn. For there is no part of my body, the front at least, remaining free from wounds. There does not exist a weapon used for close or ranged combat, the traces of which I do not bear on my exterior. I have been wounded with the sword in close fight. I have been shot with arrows, and I have been struck with missiles, and I have been hit with stones and bolts of wood for the sake of your lives, your glory, and your wealth. I am still leading you as conquerors over all the land and sea, all rivers, mountains and plains. I have celebrated your weddings with my own, and the children of many of you will be akin to my children. Most of you have golden crowns, the eternal memorials of your valor and of the honor you receive from me. Whoever has been killed has met with a glorious end and has been honored with a splendid burial. Brazen statues of most of the slain have been erected at home, being released from all public service and from taxation. Not one of you has ever been killed fleeing the enemy under my leadership. Yet now I was intending to send back those of you who are unfit for service, objects of envy to those at home. But since you all wish to depart, depart, all of you! Go back and report at home that your King Alexander, the conqueror of the known world, who has marched over the Caucasus, through the Caspian gates, who has marched through the desert of Gadrosia, where no one ever before marched with an army, who has crossed the rivers Oxus and Tanis, even the Indus, which has never been crossed by anyone else, except Dionysus himself. I would have crossed the Hyphasis if it weren't for your shameful display of cowardice. Report that when you returned, you deserted him and went away, handing him over to the protection of conquered foreigners. Perhaps this report of yours will be both glorious to you in the eyes of men and of the gods. Depart, I say. Depart!